This is the MeteoMark Weather Show. We had a very wintry start to this first part of the work week. Had a long weekend for many people. Let's take a look at some of these photos coming out over the weekend. Lenny Mendola. Take a look at this. His friend was also visiting Penn State over the weekend. As you recall in the previous video, I did post some of Lenny's photos from Penn State. And as you can see, his friend here caught a very good capture of these clouds that form in lines. These cumulus clouds that tend to form in lines. They're altocumulus, but they tend to form in lines usually ahead of 12 to 24 hours ahead of a warm front, or typically a warm front, but sometimes a cold front as well. It signifies weather could go downhill, meaning some inclement weather within 12 to 24 hours. So very nice capture of these photos of these clouds here. Nice photo here out on the plains of Pennsylvania. You can see across much of Pennsylvania you do have a wide variety of terrain across Pennsylvania, and very nice capture of this. Very good place to catch some clouds near Penn State. So let's take a look at Joe Drehos's photo. This was right over the weekend. I believe it was Saturday evening, November 9th. You can see a very nice orangish sunset here. I did see this sunset myself. I live nearby. But I did not see, or I could not get out my camera, so unfortunately I was not able to capture a shot, but Joe Drehos did. And if you were in northeastern Pennsylvania or the Susquehanna region of New York, this is what you saw on the evening hours of Saturday evening. So very nice, Joe. Thank you for sending that in. Very beautiful twilight that evening. I recall seeing that moving across the building that I was in, and very nice twilight and orangish color. This time of year you can get some very beautiful sunsets as that sun moves down below the portions of the lower latitudes. So very nice, and as it moves through that, has more sky to move through, you get some very nice colors, some oranges, yellows, and some reds. So moving on to more photos here. We got from this morning here, we have Jeff Morgan here from Johnson City, New York. He was in Recreation Park in Binghamton, New York this morning. You can see a very nice capture here. Look at this snowfall across much of the area, receiving into pretty much a 1 to 2 inch snowfall, and some of the outlying areas into northeastern Pennsylvania getting upwards of 3 to 4 inches across some of the ridge tops. But very nice capture here. Jeff Morgan from Johnson City, New York. You can see very nice snowfall. This is the first one of the season here. We're starting early this year, and he says the temperature was about 24 degrees. Had some peaks of sun moving through, some very cold weather clouds. Those cold weather clouds are those lake effect cumulus clouds that build up, almost resemble cumulonimbus from the warm weather months. So very nice, Jeff Morgan, for sending this in from Binghamton, New York. I was pretty much near Binghamton, New York this morning. You can see very nice. So that was the scene, and the snow really didn't melt throughout the day because it stayed in the upper 20s. So moving on to portions of Linden, Texas. We're moving down south. Take a look at Courtney, Lucas's sister here, captured a very nice picture of a bird. I'm not sure what this bird is called, but this shows that the southern states are pretty much unscathed by this horrible winter weather to the north, or not so horrible if you really like winter. And you can see some of Lucas's photos here. Moving on to some of the sky photos, very picturesque, a lot of oranges, yellows, and reds. Even when the sun is not setting, you can see some very nice crystal clear colors. Not so much blues, but a lot of those oranges and reds. This time of year, even the sun angle is further south, even much below the equator this time of year. And even in the southern states, you can get some really nice twilight, and even in the middle of the day, you can get some really nice colors. So very nice. And he did capture here a nice picture. I believe it's either probably an eighth of a moon here. Very nice. I don't see very many people that capture that, so good job there, Lucas. Thank you. And looks very nice. And of course, he rounds out the photo shoots here with a nice sunset, a Linden, Texas sunset. So very nice across the area. In Linden, Texas, it's been pretty quiet after a very stormy start to your November. So getting on into the precipitation mounts across the United States of America and across southern Canada, You can see here across the east, we'll see a light portion, mainly with lake effect, but that will shut off towards Thursday and Friday as we get some cresting of a ridge moving in. Warmer temperatures will shut off that lake effect snow machine and lake effect rain showers as well. Here across the central states, we'll get a return flow on the backside of this very strong high pressure system that develops, that I'll show you here in a couple minutes. You can see some rainfall does develop, probably 1 to 2 inches across the Mississippi River Valley, so maybe Linden, Texas could get in on the act on this as well. Heading on up towards the Rocky Mountains, you can see here we get some systems, that continuous conveyor belt of systems moving in across the Pacific Northwest. However, not one of them is strong enough to produce mega amounts of precipitation. Or in the next 5 days, we're talking about most of the precipitation being in the higher elevations in the form of snow, 1 to 2 liquid equivalent, probably 10 to 15 inches of snow, and along the coast where we'll get upwards of that quarter to half an inch of rain. So that's what we're looking for the next couple days. Take a look at the forecast, all-important forecast during the next several days. See that system here across the east, high pressure builds in, and you can see from Tuesday or Wednesday on into Thursday, you see that return flow on the backside of this high, and that's where we get some development on the form of precipitation. No severe weather. This time of year it's harder to get severe weather. It's not impossible, but it's pretty difficult. So moving in into the northeast, we start to get on the backside of that high into New England, portions of southeastern Canada. The lakes start to warm up and towards the portions of the area into Friday into Saturday. So take a look at those temperatures. Here we'll start to see that warming trend. We see very much colder across the northeast here. We'll still deal with some 30s and even some 20s. And the return flow here across the plains is much warmer. So that will be spreading east towards the weekend. So for you snow lovers across much of the northeast, it's unfortunate, but your snow will be eroding away. Any snow that did fall during the last 24 to 36 hours. So that's pretty much going to do it here at MeteoMark. We're not looking at any major storm systems during the next several days. However, next week I will have some updates here towards the end of this week on a major change that could be in store. I'm going to save that for a surprise. That's going to do it here at MeteoMark. Like me on Facebook at MeteoMark. Subscribe to me on YouTube at MeteoMark.com. Website MeteoMark.com. Here's a 5-day outlook for my hometown viewers in the Susquehanna region of Northeast Pennsylvania and the Susquehanna region of upstate New York. Heading on into your midday point of the week, hump day here from Wednesday. Look at this. We start off really chilly, pretty much mid to upper 30s for highs, starting off in the upper teens in the colder valleys. Heading on into your Thursday, Friday, look at this. Towards the weekend, we start to get up into those lower 50s, so if you have outdoor plans, that's very good. And heading on into Sunday, lows even start to get a little bit above freezing, and heading on into the early portion of next week. It's not till the middle portion of next week we start to see more of a change, a reversal of the pattern, and possibly even a more return to winter. That's going to do it here at MeteoMark.